Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Today is lesson 10 for Step Up Skill Down, or week 10 for Step Up Skill Down, lesson number 10. And today's lesson is stepping up to successful socializing while you're out and about. So, the objectives for today are to identify tips to stay on track with a healthy eating plan while socializing, learning healthy preparation steps for cooking foods, and identifying ways to cut fat and sugar from recipes. So that's going to be for today's lesson, and let me share with you the handouts for today. So handout 10-1. So the first handout that I am sharing with y'all is watching the waistline when eating out. And I'm going to kind of read over this with you and then kind of explain the significance behind this. So, watching the waistline when eating out. Americans love to eat out. In fact, a large part of every food dollar is spent on food prepared by someone else rather than ourselves at the kitchen. Unfortunately, eating out is a habit that may come at a cost to our nutritional health. So, not just are we missing out on um, not only are we missing out on more nutritious foods, but it also the foods that we're eating when eating takeout are kind of not so good for our health as well. So not only are we missing nutrients, key nutrients when we eat out, we're also kind of eating food that's not so beneficial. So while it may be easier to drive to the window of a fast food restaurant or have a pizza delivered to our door, eating foods prepared from home tend to be much, or excuse me, eating foods prepared away from home tend to be higher in calories and higher in fat compared to what you make or prepare in your own kitchen. So, a good example I can give for this is, and that's why they, or I guess there's no saying that goes, there's no place like home. So, whenever you're making food at your house, you are more prone to try to make it somewhat more nutritious, or either that or you're not going to make it as unhealthy versus getting it from a restaurant. Restaurants, they don't care so much about the nutritional value of the food. They care so much about making it taste better. So they're gonna add more salt, more sugar, more sugar, more oil. They'll fry it just to make it taste better. So that's why typically when you eat at your house, it's more healthier when you prepare it yourself versus going and getting takeout. So, anyways, going back to the to this lesson or to this handout, this creates a challenge for people who are trying to watch their weight. So for those of you trying to watch their weight, eating out tends to be higher in calories and in fat. So this would be a lot challenging for those of y'all that are trying to watch your weight and still eating takeout. So these following tips can help avoid waistline expansion when dining out. So the first thing I can share with you is plan before you go. So if you are watching your weight or trying to eat fewer calories, think about what you will eat before you enter the restaurant. So many restaurants post the nutrient analysis of their menu items on the internet and smartphone apps. Make the information available at the touch of your screen. So the neat thing about having advanced technology is you're able to kind of Google, hey, how much calories does this burger have from Whataburger, or how much calories does this salad have from McDonald's, or so forth. So with that being said, plan before you go. Whenever you decide to have a meal, check the calorie content and see which kind of compare and contrast. Oh, this one has more saturated fat and more salt, so maybe I'm gonna go with this one instead. Even though I am eating out and it's still not healthy, at least I'm getting fewer calories and fewer amount of saturated fat, which are the not so good fats for us. So when you're at the restaurant, restaurants are also beginning to place calorie information next to menu items. So this can help you order a meal. So whenever you're at a restaurant, maybe not so much at a mom and pop restaurant, but more so at the more well-known restaurants. Like I would say, and I'm not saying these restaurants, but I'm just using them as an example. Like maybe Cracker Barrel or Chili's, the more prominent restaurants, they will have a menu with calorie content on the food items that you're choosing. So just keep that in mind whenever you're going to the restaurant. You can kind of see which calories have fewer, I mean, which food items have fewer calories. So other ways to watch your calories when you're eating out. Number one, pre-food free foods offered at restaurants are not really free, and I'll explain to you that right now. A basket of breadsticks or fried corn chips can cost up to 1,000 calories, so you're not necessarily paying, but you're paying for it health-wise. So the solution to this, you can just ask for plain corn tortillas instead of fried chips, or request that the bread be served without butter. Better yet, decline the free food altogether. So again, I'll repeat the alternatives for this. So you can ask for plain corn tortillas instead of having fried chips, because the fried chips, of course, they're fried with oil and maybe salt was also added to it. Or you can request whenever they bring you bread to not have any butter. And the best option altogether is just to decline the free food altogether, because overall, these foods are not so beneficial for us. They're mainly they're probably either fried or they're high in calories, high in fat, high in carbohydrates that are not so beneficial and good for us. So altogether, you can just decline the free foods offered, and this will save you a lot of calories. So the second option that I can provide with you are, so a baked potato is usually better than one that is fried unless butter, sour cream, bacon, and cheese is added. Okay, so whenever you get a baked potato, it's typically better and healthier for you than French fries or fried chips. So baked potato is healthy, but if you're adding butter, sour cream, bacon, cheese, what else that's added that's not so healthy? Yeah, these are pretty much the main staples: butter, sour cream, bacon, and cheese. These are not very healthy for us, so it kind of defeats the purpose of getting a baked potato and trying to eat healthier. So maybe you can go without the butter or the sour cream, and of course you still want cheese. You can still have the cheese, but maybe decline the butter and the sour cream because you're just adding extra calories and extra fat. So try to decline that instead. You may get a little more flavor with these toppings, but that comes with extra fat and calories, as I just mentioned. The solution: if you must top your potato with a little extra something, get the toppings on the side and use them sparingly. That's another good suggestion that I would recommend. So tip number 3, bigger portions may be cheap, but what value are you really getting? So a small order of French fries has approximately, this is just a guesstimate, not every restaurant is the same, but basically on a general scale, a small order of French fries is 220 calories, 9 grams of fat. This is a French fry option. Upgrading to a large size for a few cents can add as much as 170 additional calories and 6 extra grams of fat. So even though if I just say, well, it's just 170 calories more, if you think, instead of thinking of it that way, think of it like this. You're going from 220 calories to 390 calories just from a snack, like a snack and side order. This isn't your main course meal. This is just a side. You're getting 390 calories from your side and 17 grams of fat. And this fat is not the healthy fat, it's saturated fats. Saturated fats are the unhealthy fats that are not good for us. So this is not really a good value. The solution to this, if you eat at a fast food restaurant, is just say no to the value sized option whenever they ask you if you would like to upsize it. If restaurant portions are too large for your needs, ask for a child-sized portion, or ask for another plate and split the entire entree with a friend. That way, y'all are both benefiting because, hey, you both get to have fries, but it's split and y'all are both reducing your calorie intake. Tip number 4 that I can share with you is restaurants that advertise all you can eat may be easy on the wallet, but not on the waistline. So the solution, if you have a tendency to overeat when eating out, stay away from buffets and places that offer unlimited quantities of food. This is actually very, this can be dangerous, as eating buffets and overeating and overindulging can cause health problems later on in life if you do this regularly. But typically, if you end up going on all you can eat restaurants, say if you're going to a function and it's all you can eat, I would serve myself with a side of salad first to get myself full, and then have the entrees, and then if I'm still hungry, maybe get a dessert. But that's only if you have no choice and you have to go to all you can eat restaurant like a buffet. Tip number 5 that I'd like to share before I move on to our next handout: eating out with others may encourage some people to eat more even when they are not hungry. The solution: Order an appetizer as your main course. With bread and side salad, that may be all you need to take away your hunger pains. So typically when you go out to eat, of course you're not, like say if you're not hungry and you go out to eat, um, well, that's gonna change once you go inside the restaurant. When you go inside the restaurant, you'll be more than likely tempted to order with your friends, especially if you see your friends ordering something and you smell the food, and you'll be tempted. So a solution here would be to order an entree and with bread and side salad. It may take away the cravings, and you already weren't hungry. So by ordering something and knowing you're gonna eat something, you may feel better about yourself, or you may feel better knowing that you got something small and you were still satisfied because you weren't even hungry, but you still ate something smaller. So handout 10-2, a personal plan to step up the challenge. So step number 1, try using the techniques learned to cut fat, sodium, or sugar in your favorite recipes. So with this handout, I want you, for the first one, try to find ways or use techniques to cut fat, sodium, or sugar in your favorite recipes. So for example, let's think of a recipe off the top of my head. The first thing that comes to my head is a cake. Say if you enjoy eating cake and you're an avid cake eater, well, of course you're going to be using a lot of salt, sugar, and fat to make the cake. But my recommendation, instead of using uh, regular fat, like from the cake, instead of using regular fat, sodium, or sugar, maybe replace it with an alternate. So maybe use cashews or some type of whole nut as the source of fat instead. Or for the sugar, use applesauce. Or if you're gonna make the recipes, cut back on your intake. So you can either alternate the recipe and make it healthier, or you can reduce your intake of the meal. So use that as a step one, or that's as a one your first challenge for week 10. And every time you do this, just check off the box. Every time you do this, check out the box. You won that day. Monday you won that day. Tuesday you won the day. Don't think of it as a whole, necessarily the whole week, but think of it as take it day by day, a day by day approach, and check off. Okay, yes, I completed it Monday. Awesome. Tuesday I checked it off. And once you start seeing these checks, it's gonna start making you feel good, and you're gonna be like, man, I can do this, and you're gonna feel more motivated. It's gonna feel good seeing all these checks, to where you complete the actual challenge. And the next thing I would like to encourage everyone to do, work towards incorporating physical activity into your daily routine. At least 30 minutes most days of the week. Work up to 60 minutes per day if you can. So what I mean by for at least 30 minutes most days of the week is 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. The recommendation for physical activity is 150 minutes a week. So if you divide that by 5 days, that's 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. Or you can just simply split it by 7, and it'll get you approximately 22 minutes a day. If you can just walk 22 minutes a day every day, you meet the physical activity necessary for our health, and you will be able to, check off the boxes here: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then you may also want to consider one of the optional 5K training plans shown on the next page. Remember, whatever you choose, substituting active pursuits for sedentary time will help you manage your weight better, and you'll be rewarded with great health benefits. So again, here is the optional 5K training plan. This is just to develop the habit of jogging or running with the workout challenge, and you can select the challenge based on whether you are a beginner or an intermediate runner. So say for day 1, you can jog. You can click yes, I did it. Day 3, I jogged. Yes, I did it. Check. Or you can do an intermediate workout plan for those who have been running workout at least 3 days with a day of rest in between each workout day. So begin and end each workout with a 5-minute walk for this challenge. For day 1, run for 30 minutes and check off, yes, I did it. You'll take a rest day for day 2, and then for day 3, you'll do it again. Run for 30 minutes, run/jog for 30 minutes, and just check off, yes, I did it. And what you're doing with this is you're basically improving your physical activity levels, and you're doing it at a more higher intensity. So this will definitely pay off and help you manage and maintain your weight. Um, and just a quick recap and overview of everything I mentioned before I sign off and let you go on. Today's course was covering um, watching your waistline and when you're eating out. So this is basically to help you make better decisions when you're going out to eat and also with improve your physical activity levels. So I just want to kind of recap once again the few things I mentioned today. So plan anytime before you go as much as you can. I know this sometimes it comes up all of a sudden when you go out to eat at a restaurant, but for the majority of the times when you do eat out, plan before you go. Restaurants have calorie information available, or at least most restaurants do, next to their menu items, or on the internet. You can search up the website and find the nutrition content in all the foods. So you can basically look at which are the healthier options and healthier choices at the restaurants when you have to eat out. Other ways to watch your calories: uh, try to decline the free foods when offered at restaurants. A baked potato is healthy. It's more healthy than a fried uh, French fries or potato chips. But if you're using butter, sour cream, bacon, or cheese, it's not. That doesn't mean it's gonna be, or that doesn't make it healthy and kind of defeats the purpose. So, if you're gonna add something, add it sparingly and put it on the side, so that way it is used sparingly and only use it when you need it. And also, only use the ones that you do necessarily need. So maybe you can go without butter or sour cream, but you still need cheese. Well, include the cheese, but defer the to like decline the butter and the sour cream. And again, the other advice that I gave was bigger portions may be cheap, but not necessarily for your health. Um, it comes at a price for your health. So whenever you're ordering French fries, decline the upsize. But at the same time, if you do get the upsize, maybe share it with a friend and split it with them. So that way y'all are cutting back on calories. So restaurants like buffets that are all you can eat may be easy on the wallet and getting more bang for your buck for food portions, but it's not helpful for your waistline and your health, overall health. If you have a tendency to overeat when eating out, try to stay away from buffets and limit the unlimited portions at these restaurants. So if you do have to go, I would recommend just having a side salad right before you eat, and then that way you fill up a little bit and then you go from there. Next, eating out with others may encourage some people to eat more when they're not very hungry. So, anytime you're not hungry but you still go out to eat with your friends, or you still go out with your friends just to socialize, I would basically recommend ordering an appetizer. That way, whenever you go out to eat with your friends and you're not hungry, you're more prone to order something just because the environment, the smell, and you're seeing your friends eat. So you may as well just order an appetizer, and that way you fill yourself up, keep yourself full, and keep yourself from eating that bigger portion of like a burger, fries with a soda. Instead, you'll just have a small appetizer with maybe a side salad and bread, and that way it'll kill any hunger pain that you may receive, and it'll keep you full for the most part. The last thing I'd like to recap is the week 10 challenge. So this challenge for this week is to cut fat, sodium, or sugar from your recipes. So anytime you make something, try to use alternates or cut it completely from your diet. So say if you like drinking soda, I'll give you one more example. Say if you like drinking soda, try a sugar-free soda, like a Coke. Instead of a Coca-Cola, try a Coke Zero. And if it's more tolerable, drink that instead. And then every time you do that, just check off. Monday I did it. Tuesday I did it. Wednesday I did it. If you know you have these tendencies of eating these types of foods and you can't go without it, try to limit your portions. And even then, still check off. Hey, I limited my portions. I got a Whataburger Junior instead of a regular Whataburger size. Check off. Check off. Doing this is helping you maintain your weight, believe it or not, because cutting these types of uh, nu- cutting these types of nutrients from your diet will save overall calorie intake. and also work towards incorporating physical activity. So I mentioned earlier, 150 minutes a week is recommended for us adults for physical activity. So 30 minutes for 5 days a week, you meet the recommendations. 22 minutes for 7 days, or for the whole week for each day. 22 minutes is actually the general recommendation. So today I challenge you to go for a 22-minute walk. Walk 22 minutes, walk 22 minutes, walk 22 minutes, and check off every single time. So this is all that I have to share for you. I want to thank y'all for staying on the whole time and for watching this video. If there are any additional questions or any help or guidance needed, feel free to reach out to us, as we're your support staff and your support group for this session. I want to thank y'all once again, and I'll be signing off again. I'm sorry, I didn't even get to introduce myself. My name is Cosme Rubalcaba. I'm the Health Extension Agent for Jim Howe County, and I'm helping you lead this program. I'm sure most of you already know me by now, but I just wanted to introduce myself and close off with this. Once again, thank y'all for watching, and good luck for this week.